Alright, let's talk about the new Surface laptop, the one that's got everyone buzzing. Yeah, this matte black beauty. First off, Microsoft nailed the look. It's sleek, it's professional, it's just plain cool. But the real story here is what's under the hood. Microsoft decided to ditch the usual Intel or AMD processors for this one. Instead, we're looking at Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite chip. This is the same kind of chip you find in high-end smartphones, known for their power efficiency and speed. It's a bold move, and we're here to see if it pays off. Now I know what you're thinking. Can a phone chip really handle my workload? Trust me, that was my first question too. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of performance later on, but first, let's talk about one of the biggest potential benefits of this chip battery life. Because let's be honest, who doesn't want a laptop that can last all day and then some? We've seen this kind of shift before. Remember when Apple made the jump to their own M1 chips? Yeah, this feels a lot like that. It's about taking control, optimizing for your own ecosystem. And in the process, maybe shaking things up a bit. The Snapdragon X Elite is built for efficiency. That means less power consumption, which translates to longer battery life. It's also designed to handle demanding tasks, from browsing with a ton of tabs open to light photo editing. But the big question mark is software compatibility. Windows on ARM has come a long way, but it's still not perfect. Some apps run natively, some run through emulation, and some, well, they just don't run at all. So that's something we'll be testing rigorously. But hey, potential is there. Remember, Apple's transition wasn't flawless at first either. It's all about refinement, and Microsoft has a history of getting things right eventually. Alright, let's talk battery life, because that's the big promise here, right? A laptop that can keep up with you all day long, no charger needed. And I gotta say, this thing delivers. In my testing, I was consistently getting over 15 hours of mixed use. That's browsing, streaming, writing, editing documents, the whole 9 yards. And I'm not talking about low brightness, airplane mode shenanigans either. This was real-world usage, brightness at a comfortable level, Wi-Fi on, the works. Now, your mileage may vary depending on what you're doing. If you're gaming or doing heavy video editing, you'll obviously see a dip in battery life. But for everyday tasks, this thing is a beast. I even took it on a weekend trip without the charger just to see what would happen. And guess what? It survived. No power anxiety, no scrambling for outlets. It was liberating. So, the battery life is impressive, no doubt, but what about the actual performance? Can this Snapdragon chip really hang with the big boys? Well, it's complicated. For everyday tasks, it's smooth sailing, browsing the web, checking emails, working on documents, even light photo editing. It handles it all without breaking a sweat. The system feels snappy and responsive, and I rarely encountered any lag. However, push it too hard and you'll start to see the limitations. Demanding games and professional-grade software? Not so much. Remember, this is still a mobile chip at its core. It's designed for efficiency and longevity, not necessarily raw power. That being said, Microsoft has done an impressive job optimizing Windows 11 for this platform, and with further development and software updates, I can see the performance gap closing even further. Section 5. App compatibility, the Achilles heel. Here's the thing about running Windows on ARM. App compatibility is still a mixed bag. Some apps run natively, meaning they're designed specifically for this architecture and run flawlessly. Others run through emulation, which can sometimes lead to performance hiccups. And then there are those that just don't run at all. Fortunately, the number of natively compatible apps is growing, thanks in part to Microsoft's efforts to encourage developers. The good news is that most popular apps, like Microsoft Office, Chrome, and Spotify, work perfectly fine. Even Adobe Creative Cloud apps have made their way to ARM, albeit with some limitations. The key takeaway here is to do your research before you buy. If you rely on specific niche software, especially older programs, make sure they're compatible with Windows on ARM. Otherwise, you might run into some frustration. Section 6. Design and build. Sleek, stealthy, and solid. Let's be real, the matte black finish on this Surface laptop is fire. It just looks and feels premium. But looks aren't everything, right? Thankfully, Microsoft didn't skimp on the build quality either. The laptop is crafted from durable aluminum, giving it a solid, sturdy feel. It's thin and light, making it perfect for throwing in your bag and taking on the go. The hinge is smooth and sturdy, allowing you to open the laptop with one hand. And speaking of opening, the lid lifts up to reveal that gorgeous display, but we'll get to that in a bit. Overall, the design and build quality of this Surface laptop scream premium. It's clear that Microsoft sweated the details and it shows. Section 7, display, a visual treat or just a pretty face. Okay, let's talk about that display, because this is where the Surface laptop really shines. We're talking a 13.5-inch PixelSense display with a resolution of 2256 by 1504. That's sharp, folks, but it's not just about the numbers. The colors are vibrant, the blacks are deep, and the viewing angles are excellent. Whether you're watching movies, editing photos, or just browsing the web, everything looks fantastic on this screen. And did I mention it's a touchscreen? Yeah, you can navigate Windows 11 with your fingers or use a Surface Pen for even more precision. It's a joy to use, whether you're sketching, taking notes, or just scrolling through websites. Seriously, this display is one of the best I've seen on a laptop in this price range. It's that good. Section 8, keyboard and trackpad, the unsung heroes. A laptop is only as good as its keyboard and trackpad, right? Well, I'm happy to report that the Surface laptop doesn't disappoint in this department either. The keyboard is a dream to type on. The keys are well spaced, have a satisfying amount of travel, and offer just the right amount of feedback. And the trackpad? It's large, responsive, and supports all the Windows 11 gestures you know and love. No more annoying cursor jumps or accidental clicks. Honestly, I could type on this thing all day, and that's saying something because I'm pretty picky when it comes to keyboards. Section 9, the extras more than meets the eye. Okay, we've covered the basics. Now let's dive into some of the extras that make this Surface laptop special. First up, the built-in GPU. While it's not going to replace a dedicated graphics card, it's more than capable of handling casual gaming and light creative tasks. Then there's the cooling system, or rather, the lack thereof. This laptop is fanless, which means it runs silently. No more annoying fan noise even when you're pushing it hard. And let's not forget about the Copilot button. This handy little button gives you quick access to Microsoft's AI-powered assistant, which can help you with everything from scheduling meetings to writing emails. Section 10. The verdict: game changer or evolution, not revolution. So after spending some quality time with the new matte black Surface laptop, is it a game changer? Well, it's complicated. On one hand, it's a beautifully designed and well-built laptop with an incredible display, fantastic battery life, and a surprisingly capable processor. It's perfect for students, professionals, and anyone who values portability and longevity. However, the app compatibility issues and the limitations of the Snapdragon chip mean it's not for everyone. If you're a gamer, a creative professional, or someone who relies on specific Windows-only software, you might want to look elsewhere. Ultimately, the new Surface laptop is a fascinating glimpse into the future of computing. It's an evolution, not a revolution. But it's a step in the right direction, and I'm excited to see where Microsoft takes it from here. Section 11. The future of ARM laptops. A new dawn. The new Surface laptop is more than just a new laptop. It's a statement. It shows that Microsoft is serious about ARM-based Windows devices. And with Apple's success with their M1 chips, it's clear that the future of computing is moving towards ARM. Of course, there are still challenges to overcome. App compatibility remains a hurdle, and developers need to fully embrace this new platform. But the potential is undeniable. Imagine a world with laptops that have smartphone-like battery life, instant-on capabilities, and the full power of Windows. That's the promise of ARM, and the new Surface laptop is a tantalizing taste of what's to come. It might not be a game changer today, but it's paving the way for a future where ARM laptops are the norm, not the exception. And that's something worth getting excited about.